Okay, guys. So, second day back after my silly ban. Still have a lot of catching up to do, okay? And one of those things is apparently some crazy stuff went down for Creator Clash number 2, which is basically what it is now. Yeah, it's toilet humor. So mature. Anyway, when I heard that Froggy Fresh, okay, was apparently like banned from the event in some capacity, I knew I had to look into this.
You guys know that I love contact sports. So, as you might imagine, the Creator Clash is something that I love. It's happened once before. There's another one happening in under 3 weeks. I planned on going, probably can't. You'll find out why soon. It's terrible. Bad stuff has happened to me, and you'll see it soon.
Damn, I got my ass kicked.
It's a cool event. It's a really cool YouTuber boxing event where all the proceeds go to charity. Run by iDubbbz, okay, and his wife, Anissa. The point is, this thing is awesome. I'm very excited to see it. The last one blew expectations out of the water. It is definitely the best YouTuber boxing event. YouTuber boxing events have been around for a while now. You probably have heard of them.
What is it?
There's quite a few big names. It all started with Joe Weller and this other guy, Theo, I think his name was. Not really sure. Nor do I kind of care. All the old events were kind of boring. You know, Logan Paul fought Floyd Mayweather. Who cares, man? I want to see 2 idiot YouTubers fight each other. I don't care about bringing actual boxers into this. It's not the same thing. It's a different thing. And I'm not the only one who's excited for this. A lot of people are very excited for Creator Clash too. All right, guys, just in a couple weeks. I'm so stoked. Got a pretty cool lineup here. It's a big deal. And today, we're gonna be talking about a little bit of drama that recently happened that everyone gave their take on Twitter on, except for me, guys. I didn't talk about it on Twitter because I wanted to make money.
Hey, bro, absolutely. I was about to say, like, why talk about something on Twitter? What does Twitter even matter? If you want to make some money, talk about it live, bro. Yeah?
From it.
Or not live, but you know.
That's what I care about. You may have heard of Froggy Fresh.
Chris Reagan versus Froggy Fresh.
It's Friday, the sights up.
What is Chris Reagan?
This guy was relevant a long time ago. Now he pops into existence every couple months for some clever song that he's made. You know, Krispy Kreme used to be his name. Froggy Fresh now.
Shoes done took over control of me. I try to fight it off, but these shoes gotta hold him.
And he's fighting a dude, Chris Reagan. Probably seen Chris Reagan. They were supposed to fight. Gonna be awesome. And then shit hit the fan. Not good. Not good. So what could possibly precipitate a tweet like this? Something terrible, I assume, right? Something terrible that Froggy Fresh did that is bad and not good and badong. Well, I'll tell you, all right? And I'll let you decide whether it's bad or not. It all kind of starts with Froggy Fresh training with a man named Samuel Hyde.
You know that, Hassan Piker? I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house.
He was the ghost of Kiev for a while, and he's also iDubbbz #1 nemesis.
Hey, it's me, Tyler. I just got my bowl cut, and I'm really excited about my new bowl cut.
Sam and Ian have a complicated history. Ian wanted to do one of his famous documentary-style videos on Sam. So
yeah, my understanding is like Ian wanted to do that, and I think Sam Hyde thought that Ian was going to troll him, which is probably like kind of fair. And so he trolled him first pretty hard, and then things kind of fell out from there. You know, maybe Ian is having a little bit of, or iDubbbz is a little bit too sensitive. I don't really know, but I could understand why they wouldn't want Hassan, or excuse me. Well, I can understand why he wouldn't want Hassan there either. I can understand why they may not have wanted Sam Hyde there from like an advertiser perspective, if they wanted to be seen as more, you know, upfront. I think that there are some times where he might have, and like I don't know the specific story, he might have donated some money to some less than stellar people. He's not super palatable. I think he got kicked off like Adult Swim. He's a funny guy, but there seems to be like he may not necessarily respect the boundaries set in place by employers. You know, he seems like a little bit of a wild card. You know what I mean? So I could see why he may not be like advertiser palatable, and I could see why from a professional situation they may not want to talk. Like, you know, they might not want to platform him in some capacity. But you really should be more upfront about that.
So he went to him, and Sam, knowing this, fabricated basically every single aspect of his life and filmed the thing and just trolled Ian the entire time, and it was extremely manipulative, and it was a very entertaining video, to be honest.
Hoax that makes the rounds just about every time there's a mass shooting in the U.S. The gunman was a man named Sam Hyde.
Many folks posting this photo of a blonde man holding a gun.
He sabotaged everything that Ian was trying to do. Ian was pretty upset in the end, it seemed like. Understandably so.
Who is Sam Hyde?
And in the past, Sam had also copyrighted one of Ian's videos, which was their first interaction with each other, which is pretty hilarious.
Dude.
Copyright claiming stuff is kind of weird. Sam said he didn't do it. Ian said, yes, you did. Sam said, okay, maybe I did. And it's funny, you know?
I guess.
Shit. Jesus Christ. Why'd you give me this fucking thing? I thought this was airsoft. I'm never doing that again in my life. Holy shit.
Anissa, Ian's wife, even said she was terrified for Ian for going to film with Sam.
When Sam Hyde when he went to go film it, I was terrified.
Okay, relax.
I was super uncomfortable.
Okay, relax. Terrified? Okay, that's a little disproportionate there. Relax. That's a little crazy. A guy hit on me in public today. I was terrified. It's like, okay, that's the energy I'm getting here. Relax.
With it.
So needless to say, Sam, in spite of being a boxer and boxing at boxing events, YouTuber boxing events, was not invited to Creator Clash 1. In fact, he showed up and he was banned from the event, much to his and the internet's disappointment, because I'm all about entertainment, baby. I love entertainment.
Yeah, and again, I understand why they did it. They didn't want him trolling it. Like, he went there... he went there to troll it. Let's be real. And I don't even think... What's so funny is I'm pretty sure, like, everybody else would be like, no, he would never do that. And then, like, he's like, yeah, I totally would. Like, he's an honest man. You got to give him that much, right? So, like, yeah, they want to prevent the trolling, especially for their creator. Like, they're trying to make a real brand. I get that. You know what I mean? I could see why they do some of the things that they do. You know? I do get it. I do understand it, okay?
That would have been fun, but I understand. Anissa called him a massive business risk because of how unpredictable he is, which is fair. All right, it is for charity.
It absolutely is fair.
So involving him in our event just isn't a good idea. I think most people would.
Business risk.
Sam really doesn't like Anissa, and Anissa seems to be like the one who's kind of controlling Creator Clash, which is valid. Sam called Anissa Yoko Ono and said that she'd ruined Ian's life.
Like, deep down, I want him to be uncucked. I want him to get the tattoos lasered off, get a normal haircut, get rid of Yoko Ono. That's poisonous. That relationship is poisonous.
I don't know if it's poisonous. This is so stupid. Guys, this is truth. This is just truth through funny, okay? That's all this is. He's fucking killed me. Oh my god.
Like she's like his entertainment handler. Like she's his fucking career manager now or something. She's got to go, man. She's gonna ruin his life. I guarantee it. Mark my words. Mark my words. That woman is going to ruin his life.
So you can see why Anissa and Sam probably wouldn't necessarily get along. You're definitely not going to, mend bridges or make any friends when you're talking negatively about someone's wife. That kind of makes sense. So when Froggy comes full circle,
I will say one thing, because like I'm big about like not talking about people's wives, but that's not I wouldn't necessarily say that he's talking shit about his wife in like a disrespectful way, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between like making fun of it versus him just like, I think that she's bad for his career, and like I see where he's coming from his traditional career, but I think he's just wanted to change a little bit. But I will say it's hard to argue there. I don't know if iDubbbz is getting cucked, but there's a lot of energy there, cuck energy. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, the only problem with it is that there's something so deeply wrong with it. No, I'm just kidding. But you do kind of get that out of there. It's okay if you want somebody else to control your life like that, but it is a little bizarre. You know, imagine in like the good timeline 10 years from now, iDubbbz and Sam become like best friends, you know, because Anissa just did something so terribly horrible. She took advantage of her power dynamic over iDubbbz. She has this fucking power over him. Oh my god. Oh my god. We can't let these rich women get away with manipulating all these men. It's too much power. God damn it. It's too much.
Chose Sam as a mentor or trainer for the event that Sam's not even allowed to show up to, caused a bit of an uproar. Now, to be clear, last time, Harley, Epic Mealtime, did train with Sam for Creator Clash 1, but that was before a lot of stuff happened, so it's kind of, things have changed a little bit.
I don't think it is before that. That's one of the things I was saying before. Like, it's difficult. Like, one of the problems with, like, telling to Froggy Fresh that you can't train with this person, and you can say that, is that, like, you let Harley train with him. So, like, and there was no punishment there. So, like, listen, make it part of the explicit contract that you cannot train with Sam Hyde. I understand that the people on the internet will cry about that, but at least you're upfront about it. But it seems like, it's just like there's too much to interpret, like, to leave to interpretation. I think that's the biggest problem here. Out of the whole thing.
Froggy's been training with Sam. Okay, that's pretty badass. By the way, Froggy looks incredible. I do not know how tall he is. He's very short, I assume. He looks really jacked and like he's in great shape. I'd be afraid to fight him. Looks like Robert Redford. With muscle.
Same here.
And real short. So Froggy's been posting all these pictures and everything, and the mood definitely soured when he started posting pictures with Sam Hyde. Now, Sam Hyde, who has been called a Nazi before, was training Froggy Fresh, and Froggy kind of loosely compares his opponent, Chris Ray Gun, to Hitler. Now, that's kind of iffy. Kind of strange thing to say. Interesting. Makes sense. Internet people be doing internet stuff, I guess. And in this little clip, Froggy also says that if he doesn't hurt Chris beyond imagination, he will subscribe to Anissa's OnlyFans.
There seems to be substantial evidence that Chris Ray Gun is now on Adderall. Little young man. Amphetamines couldn't save Hitler, and they can't save you either. On April 15th,
what the fuck?
If I don't hurt you beyond what anybody could have imagined, I will be so disappointed in myself that I will subscribe to Anissa's OnlyFans.
Okay, listen. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. That's not funny. Okay, sorry. Give me a second. Okay. That might be a little intense. Okay. I can maybe see a little more now. He didn't just say I'll subscribe if I lose. He's like, if I don't beat the fuck out of this guy who's on Adderall, that's basically Hitler, I'm going to subscribe to OnlyFans. It's very funny, but I could see maybe that kind of banter may not necessarily be welcome in Creator Clash. Although in the UFC, you got people saying that they're going to rip someone's fucking head off. So frankly, it is entertaining. I don't know. Okay. Interesting.
I thought the last part, personally, I thought was kind
what
of
has Chris Gunn not said anything?
Viewer, I thought it was funny. That was an obvious joke. Okay, obvious joke because it's like she's a public OnlyFans. Like it's something you could mention. It's not like a private disability or something like that, right? And Ian has faced much backlash for this. Anyways, there was all that uproar years and years and years ago. Oh well, oh well. I almost said L'chaim.
Okay.
Then, when all this kind of began, really, Froggy posted a video completely backing and being in full support of Sam, despite his reputation, particularly with Ian and Anissa. Which, okay, that causes the backlash, guys. Trying to remain unbiased in this, by the way. I'm sure you guys know that I don't really care all that much about, like, people's feelings, and I try hard to learn and stuff. There's a time and a place for all this, and the complicated part is that this is for charity, and it's a virtuous thing, and you're tainting it maybe. I don't know. It's hard to think about for me. And the tweets, I don't care. Grow up, grow up. Just log off. A bunch of shit started happening. Anissa's mom got herself into the mix, which is awesome. She called for the replacement of
Wait
Froggy,
a minute. Are you saying that the mom started making OnlyFans content with Anissa? I would think about subscribing. I know that sounds disgusting, but like in my defense, I'm a man. And that's all I really have to say. And not only am I a man, I have that dog in me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm tired of society telling me that I can't be a man anymore. That I can't just be a disgusting man. I'm sick of feminism. Let me be an animal. Okay? Let me be a fucking animal, dude. I'm tired of this feminist garbage telling me that I have to respect people and not be a fucking disgusting goblin. That's what I want to be, Mom. Stop telling me otherwise. You know what I mean? Okay, interesting.
And then called him an imp, which is dope. There's a bit of an exchange.
I would have told the mom, like, yo, you can't be getting yourself involved with this kind of shit, though. Like, you need to stay out of it.
Between Froggy Keemstar and Anissa's mom, it's a little bit hard to follow because all the tweets are deleted. Better an imp than a pimp. Shout out to your boy iDubbbz. Anissa, come get your mom. Anissa's mom said he had brain damage and shrunken balls.
Classic case of brain damage. Better have that looked at along with your obviously shrunken balls. Yeah, dude, like, not for nothing, but I think the most unprofessional person here might be the fucking mom. Holy fuck. Like, if this was my mom, I'd be like, Mom, you need to not be doing what you're doing right now. Like, you're interrupting this event here. You're interrupting it. Let us handle it. So the mom kind of... Wait, did the mommy say that you can't... man, I don't know, dude. I thought the mom just said the thing. The mom was doing a little too extra. If this is something that... I don't know, dude. After this, I love my mom a lot. And I feel like I feel like you can't have moms getting involved in this business because it's going to... I don't know, dude. Now I think that Froggy Fresh's thing was a little inappropriate and he should have been asked to take it down, whatever. But the mom's response is just exacerbating this issue in a crazy way. Come get your mom is true, though. This is...
Which is pretty awesome. And to note, this is an out-of character for Anissa's mom. She's a massive defender of her daughter on the internet.
Oh, it's Anissa's mom. Oh, yes. Crazy birth's crazy, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. That's just mean. That's a little too rude. I'm so sorry. But yeah, you got to set that boundary. She shouldn't be doing that. But since iDubbbz is a cuck, he's not going to be able to, like, actually set that boundary. I'm kind of half kidding. I'd be able to set that boundary with my mother. That's the thing is, and my mother-in-law, they'd be happy to respect it. That's the thing is, my wife, even if she disagreed with what was being said, she would be like, this is how this should have gone. So Anissa's mom should have been like, Anissa, I don't like this. Stop it. And then, like, Anissa can deal with it the way that she needs to. Not this weird, unprofessional way where the mother is leveraging or weighing in. So weird.
People have been coming after her for years. People have completely valid. I think she was even a moderator on her Twitch. So after all this started, people began harassing Anissa's mom, I assume, in typical internet fashion. She deleted her account. It's unfortunate.
Good. She should. She shouldn't be on Twitter. You shouldn't be on Twitter in general. But if the mom's going to be doing dumb shit like that, being unprofessional, then, like, delete your Twitter. You shouldn't be doing this shit.
And then they tweeted that he's going forever. No one's really made any statements up up to this point. Keem got blocked by Anissa. Froggy doubled down on Keem, doubled down on Sam, and that was the final nail in the coffin, I believe. Definitely going to be more opposition. Up until all this, there has been no official statement from Anissa or Ian. Obviously, I assume they don't really care that much, but I was wrong, though, because the Creator Clash said there's been a change in the lineup, and Froggy Fresh will no longer be fighting against Chris Raygun, who will announce his replacement in the coming days. With just 3 weeks left, the countdown to Creator Clash 2 has begun. What the fuck? I get it, but come on, it's for charity, dude. It's for charity. Why would you wait this long? Whoever is going to be fighting Chris Raygun, that's going to be just an absolute goofball matchup now. That's not going to be good at all. A couple people have come out in support of Froggy, as you would probably expect. Moist Critical, aka Charlie. I'm really disappointed by this. Kicking him for Twitter controversy after months of training is brutal. I don't think any jokes he made were intended to be mean-spirited or shit on anyone. Hopefully they reconsider their decision. Yes, I completely agree with that. That makes a lot of sense. At the same time, I can see, both sides, how people would just be angry that he's saying things that are offensive, I guess, right? Aligning him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that the original tweet, I could see why they think that's inappropriate, but the way that was handled by, like, the mom and shit was just not smart. It was stupid. And like I think that the banning was disproportionate and silly goosery,
Self with Sam Hyde, who is just, his very existence is offensive. This is when things start to get extra bonkery and sort of blackmaily, which is cool. This is why I like the internet. Gideon, world famous YouTuber, not known for being PC, offered $100,000 to go directly to Creator Clash charity proceeds if they keep Froggy on the card. Basically, let them choose between charity or pride, virtue. I'm not sure exactly what the mindset of Gideon is there, but that's kind of what it's distilled down to right now. Is trivial internet beef more important than $100,000 to charity? When you put it like that, no, definitely not. But there's more to it, I think, right? Trying to be a good guy and understand. It looks bad. It looks bad. Never negotiate with terrorists. But this offer for $100,000 climbed to $600,000 total. Another $500,000 worth of cash proposed by Sam Hyde to fight Nathan Barnett, the guy dad. That character. Sam offered initially to fight him for $100,000 plus him deleting all of his socials and ceasing to create content forever. And Sam would also have to lose 70 pounds. That doesn't seem like it's going to happen to me. So that's crazy. That's a lot of weight to lose. And, dad declined it because he's busy making a movie. He doesn't want to box with people. He wants to box with somebody he respects. But that's completely fair. The dude obviously doesn't want to do that. Sam,
I can see why people may not want to like associate with Sam Hyde. I get that part. But like, yeah, man, like, I don't know. This whole thing like fucking went out of control. I feel like it's Anissa's mom's fault. Honestly, listen, I love strong women. My wife's a very strong woman. My wife and I like have conversations and we make decisions together. I respect the fuck out of my wife and I love her. But if this ever happened, it just wouldn't have happened. Like, what a drastic overstep from the mother. Incredibly disproportionate. And I think that this whole situation has devolved and like Ian's being too much of a pussy. And like, it's just not professional enough. It's just the whole thing is like fucking backwards. It just feels very unfair for Froggy Fresh. Honestly. So
upped it by another $250,000 cash and a GT3 RS, which is a car. Crazy. He's about buying Funkos, which is insane. The total $500,000 for charity. I mean, God, I'd be scratching my head. I'd be scratching my head at that point. That's a lot of money. That's pretty baller. To fight this guy, maybe it's just my idiot monkey brain instinct. I would do it. That seems incredible. That was obviously turned down, but there was an unforeseen result. Nathan, aka Dad, just turned his Twitter off. I guess he was getting bullied, or maybe he just didn't want to be criticized or attacked or whatever. It was a bizarre response. Kind of sad that he just destroyed his. It's weird. I'm not.
Not for nothing, because like obviously, it seems like Sam Hyde is causing a lot of chaos here, right? And I could see why you'd be like, there's a lot of chaos being, sowed here by Sam Hyde. But then also the response to it is abysmal dog shit. It seems to be afraid. It's afraid to set that boundary of like, oh, we're not going to work with Sam Hyde because of this, that, and the other thing. There's just like a fear there. And since they're not like being upfront about it, it's opening the door to all this. If they had just said from the start, like, listen, you can't like associate with Sam Hyde. You can't like you could be his friend, whatever, we don't care, but you can't be trained by him and you can't show up to the event. And that's just like a hard rule because he's an unprofessional person that like doesn't look good for the event and we're trying to take this event seriously. You could disagree with it all you wanted, but they set that hard boundary and now you're like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Most people will just be like, okay, and then we're nice and transparent. But this is just a fucking mess. Like, if you want to be a big boy with a big boy company, then put your fucking big boy pants on and start setting boundaries. Like, and I'm saying that's like iDubbbz and Anissa. Like, grow up. It's time to grow up. I understand that it's frustrating, it's annoying to you, but fucking set some hard boundaries, dude.
Exactly sure why that happened. As you could probably imagine, Sam did not like this response, so he said, if he doesn't fight me, then the money, the $500,000 goes to buying Funkos. That will then be incinerated immediately. Look at them. They look like friends. Creator Clash friends and stuff. They look so crazy, dude. Ian looks insane. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a valid response? Do you think this makes sense? To me, this doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Bro, I'm getting my ass
from my
fucking,
perspective, but I also don't really care about being seen as good, really. I don't know. I just try to be okay with my own conscience more so than people online. So, like, I don't really do the right thing a lot unless it's my own right thing that I believe in my head and that aligns with my values in my real world. I don't really care about Twitter. In my perspective, I would definitely add Sam Hyde and take the money and give it to charity and make probably the most viral, interesting event that has ever occurred. And I'm sure that the infamy that it would gain for Sam would not outweigh the amount of money that is raised for charity. If that's what you're worried about, is giving Sam more infamy, which I don't really know. It seems weird to me, though. I will say, it definitely seems weird to me. I don't really care about comedians. I don't really care about what people say. I just want to watch a really good boxing event. What do you guys think? Down below. Comment down below.
I mean, you could just say that if Sam cared about the charity, he would just donate the $500,000 to charity himself instead of like leverage it against having to be part of the event. So you could say that like, oh, iDubbbz is being should take the money and he's being selfish, but also Sam is too. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. So this whole thing is like fucking dumb, to be honest with you. This whole fucking situation is really stupid. Just set your fucking boundaries better. I just don't respect people who set positive, like better boundaries. So kind of having a problem with this whole iDubbbz and Nisa thing. Just fucking grow up, you know? Honestly.
Who do you think's going to replace Froggy, too? Hopefully, he gets replaced and we don't have just a, Chris doesn't get just completely fucked over because of Twitter drama. But
hey, maybe he could just jerk himself off in the ring.
Oh, well. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. It's possible. There's been a small update. Not a good one. Froggy Fresh is now getting sued by Creator Clash. Allegedly. I'm not exactly sure. If they decide to do it, that would be a big, fat, giant L. They made this statement. You can pause, read it if you want. I don't really care. They said Froggy made a bunch of violations, and they tried to, communicate with him based on these, and that iDubbbz and Creator Clash already donated $50,000 each to Froggy's charities that he chose, which is great. That's awesome. It seems to really be about Sam Hyde at this point, guys. I don't really know. I hope that Froggy doesn't get sued and have his life destroyed through this, because they want $15,000 back, $15,000 that they gave him for training, etc., which he did, by the way. He did everything that is required, but now that he's a bad guy and made jokes and, did more, I suppose, it seems wild. I hope they let him fight, genuinely. This update is more disappointing to me than the story has been up until this point. Fortunately for Froggy, my friend Muda said he'd pay all of his legal fees, which is awesome. Muda's a really good guy. At the end of the day, this is very disappointing. If they sue this poor guy, I mean, he brought it on himself, but at the same time, this is like internet stuff. Yeah. This is internet stuff. You guys kicked him out. He had done everything he was supposed to do.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think the person that it was originally in the wrong is Sam Hyde, right? Like he's, trying to troll the fuck out of iDubbbz. He shouldn't be doing what he's doing. But the problem is that it's elicited a massively disproportionate response. And so now the people who look really bad are iDubbbz and Anissa, and like you need to deal with your shit better. I don't know what else to tell you.
And also just hung out with Sam Hyde and decided to add some drama and make some jokes. Like it's fighting. It's not like ballet or something. I don't really know. There's a lot of sides to it. Once again, let me know what you guys think down below, because this is where things get really, really, really interesting. Froggy also said that he had limited communication with the Creator Clash team and only talked to Ian 3 times in 9 months leading up to the fight, and one of the calls was an interrogation, his words, about his relationship with Sam Hyde. So it seems like this is a really personal, weird thing. I feel like it's not that big of a deal. Seems like this is going to be bad for the fans, and Chris still does not have an opponent. So, oh well. Let me know what you guys think down below.
You know what really happened? Chris didn't want to fight him, but he's a pussy, so he orchestrated this. Yeah, okay, this whole thing is like a fucking this whole thing is bizarre and frankly dumb, immature, stupid drama. But I think that it makes iDubbbz and it makes them look like silly and goofy. They've sunk below the level of Sam Hyde in this situation. Like, yeah, Sam Hyde's trolling them. Like, absolutely, he shouldn't be doing what he's doing. But like, you have to be an adult and set like a firm boundary. Like, you literally should have just said, listen, we don't want anybody associating with Sam Hyde in a professional sense, right? In the sense of like nobody can hire him. You could be his friend, whatever, but you can't hire him as one of your coaches, because it seems like, from my understanding, they will pay the coaches. And so don't do that thing. You should just set that boundary and then move forward. But what seems to have happened is Froggy Fresh made a little bit of an edgy joke, which I could have seen why Creator Clash would ask him to take down the Twitter post. I think it's perfectly fine. But instead, the mommy decided to get all upset and be a shitty mother-in-law. So, at the end of the day, though, none of this matters.
I want Papa God to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.